So your LinkedIn profile is something that as a business professional you should definitely have. And when you create that LinkedIn profile, you want to make sure that it is definitely business professional and that you use it actively. My LinkedIn profile is listed here on the bottom. Feel free to go on and like my or follow me. That way you can see all the different posts that I put out there as well. Plus, it'll give us that connection so that you can find other um, professors and maybe even some other groups or industries that you like. So, why does LinkedIn matter? More and more employers are actually using LinkedIn to search for candidates online. And so, you want to make sure that you have a good presentation of yourself there. Basically, it's a resume online in a social platform. Your profile is your first impression, so we want to make sure that we build it in a way that is going to showcase what you want employers to see. And then opportunities come from visibility and the connections that you can make in the LinkedIn platform. So your profile is your brand. It is the very first thing that people see. You need to make sure that you understand what is it about that first image of your page that they're going to remember, and make sure that your goals actually match what you want to achieve. Okay? What you want to where you want to work and what you want to do with that. The first thing that you're going to see is your profile picture. So you want to make sure that you have a very professional appearance in that profile picture. It needs to be very clear, well lit image, and you need to dress for whatever your career field is. So if you are going to work in a bank, then you need to have on very business professional attire. If you are wanting to work for something like a boutique, then you want to have on clothes, makeup, hair that are going to match that boutique style, that kind of thing. Good versus bad photos. Good photos are really going to have a really clean background. You're smiling. You have a business professional appearance. Bad photos is like a selfie, sunglasses on, filters, group photos with other people in it. You don't want any of that. Your headline. Your headline should not just be what major you're in. It needs to also show what values, skills, and goals you have. So instead of it just saying a marketing student, you want it to say like marketing student, social media, and branding. That way it shows what you actually are good at and what you want to achieve with those skills. The about section should tell your story. Talk about who you are, how you got where you are, and where you want to go. Highlight the strengths that you have and keep it as clear and concise as possible. You don't want it to be long, but you do want it to engage people enough to want to see more. Your experience should include whatever jobs you've already had, your internships, your projects. One of the nice things about LinkedIn, using that as a resume component, is that you can add in things like projects or smaller odd jobs where you gain some really important skills in leadership and teamwork, but maybe it's not appropriate to have on a physical written resume because it was something so small. Projects, for example, you don't typically put projects on a resume, but it could be a very, very valuable experience builder for you. Focus on skills that you have gained, and you're going to see there's a section there where you can actually put in all of your different skills, and focus on what those are that you're going to be able to use in the workforce. Use bullet points where you're able to. It really just helps keep it tidy and easier to read. Your skills and abilities, you want to list all the relevant skills to your career field. You can go a little bit outside of the box because some careers or some jobs, maybe your skill is something like, I don't even know. I'm trying to think of something kind of off the wall. Um, Maybe you know how to build a carburetor, but you're trying to get a job in a bank, right? So maybe utilizing the ability to build the carburetor is detail oriented, right? Whereas at a bank, that would be really important. So feel free to think a little bit outside of the box. Just make sure that somehow you bring it back into the fold. Match your career goals. So make sure that whatever your relevant skills match whatever the career is, whatever you're trying to get to. And then ask for endorsements. So let's talk just a little bit about endorsements. So, for an example of one thing that you could do to ask someone for an endorsement is you could say something like, "Hi, I am updating my LinkedIn profile and was wondering if you'd be willing to endorse me for communication and teamwork based on our group project." So this is a really good, quick, easy way to send out the request on LinkedIn to a professor. And just a couple of things to keep in mind, some tips to give you. Only ask people who have actually seen you do the skill. Don't just ask random people to endorse you. Be very specific about what skill you want them to endorse. And if you can help remind them where they saw that, it's going to help because professors, we see a lot of students. And so be specific about the class, the semester, those kind of things, as needed, unless it's a class that you're currently in. And then don't overuse it. So focus on your most relevant skills. You don't want to ask someone to endorse all of your stuff. You want them to endorse just one or two items that they specifically have seen. A quick way to just kind of understand the idea of endorsements is that this is a really quick validation of that skill, whereas a recommendation is like a detailed written support from that person. And we are going to work both of these in this semester. The letter of recommendation and then the endorsements, but endorsements are specifically for LinkedIn. All right, step number 6, we are going to build credibility. We do this by using a very professional tone in all of the writing that you have your profile in, as well as any posts. You want to be careful not to have any errors. So you want to proofread, proofread, proofread. Grammar errors, spelling errors, tone of voice errors, you name it. You want to make sure that you are mindful and keep it free of errors. And then of course show consistency. And this is where you are consistent throughout the different sections of your profile, but then you're also consistent in posting on your LinkedIn profile regularly. And maybe you're posting things like things that you've learned about the career field. Maybe you're posting specifically about a area of business that you are very interested in. There's a lot of different ways that you can do your posting online where you are showing consistency and credibility at the same time. I am more than happy to sit down with any student that wants to discuss what that would look like and maybe offer some suggestions for topics. If you want to take the time to do that, just message me. All right. So what stands out? So there are two major area that stands out to potential employers, and that is traits and abilities. Traits are going to be things like you're reliable, you're good, you're organized, you're motivated, you're detail oriented. Abilities are going to be like your communication skills, your leadership skills, maybe you're tech savvy, maybe you're social media savvy, right? Those are all abilities. But you do want to make sure whatever your traits and your abilities are, that you make those very clear on your profile so that it's quick and easy for people to see. Strengths and weaknesses. What promotes you well? Understand what your strengths are and how to promote those strengths. You don't have to be arrogant to promote a strength. You just have to simply know what you're good at. What have other people told you that you're good at? What do you feel like you're good at? But then also be honest and understand what you needs to be improved. And when we talk about what needs to be improved, it doesn't mean that we have to say, "Oh, I'm a terrible leader." No, instead, we talk about how we've grown as a leader and how we look forward to continue to have the opportunity to grow. So be careful about the way that you word that. Okay. Making improvements. You want to make sure that your photo is always up to date. So you want to be changing that photo regularly so that it is relevant. And when I say regularly, I'm talking once a year, not once a week. Okay. So keep it relevant. Rewrite your summary as often as you need to. So as life continues to change and you develop and you grow, you want to rewrite different portions of your profile as needed to accommodate that. And as you gain experience, you want to continue to add that experience. Um, Building and showing that you are building and consistently building your experience and your expertise is something that people want to see. Networking definitely matters. So you want to make sure that you are joining groups where you can talk to and interact with people within your interest fields. You want to follow companies that you're interested in working for or that you admire. And you want to connect with other professionals so that you can learn from them and gain experience along the way. One question I get pretty regularly is what are groups in LinkedIn or how do I join groups in LinkedIn? So I did want to just take a quick look here. So if you go up here to the top right corner of your LinkedIn profile on your laptop, then you're going to see for businesses and you click that, and that's where you're going to find that group section. And in groups, you're going to be able to join groups. There's groups specifically for Purdue University here in Fort Wayne, where you can join student groups or you can join the Dormer School of Business. That way, you can connect with your professors and other students within your career field. And one of the great things about that is that when you network with alumni, you actually are able to get recommendations for jobs along the way as well. So, definitely something that you want to take the time to do. So, when you are looking for what groups to join, you want to look at industry related groups, you want to look at career focused groups, and then, of course, alumni and student groups. Organizations that you should follow, that should be companies that you admire, industry leaders, and then, of course, future employers that you're hoping to work for along the way. Professionals that you should follow would be leaders in your field. So, people who are really being successful in your field and that you want to learn from. People with jobs that you want. So, if there is a specific job that you want to have, you want to follow that person to see what they're doing, what their career looks like, so that you can help build your own career in a way that will give you the opportunity for that same job. And then, of course, active and engaging profiles. If you're just following people who are never on LinkedIn and they don't actually post anything, that's not going to do a ton for you. You really want people who are there and are actively participating. All right, so just a couple of final tips. You want to make sure that keep your profile updated. You want to stay very professional and be intentional and mindful of what you're posting and when you're posting it. So I look forward to seeing all of your LinkedIn profiles. I will be viewing all of them. And I hope that you guys will all click on my profile so that we can connect, so that you can get endorsements and recommendations from other professors as well. Thanks, guys. Bye.